Right, Scotty, where do we begin with that game? It's finished 1-1 here in Worthing, but I mean, we can see behind us even still now the conditions are worsening, if anything, since full time. I'll let you begin though. What were your thoughts on quite an eventful 1-1 draw?
Yeah, chaotic. I think that, I hate the word game plan, but we had a way that we set up from their goal kicks, and I think it caused them problems. We won the ball back high. We had a few opportunities from winning it back. Probably didn't capitalise on it enough. They're a very, very good footballing side, there's no doubt about it. I said it earlier on in the season when they beat us 4-1. I thought they'd gone to win the league, but obviously we've not seen Yeovil yet. They must be a hell of a side, because I think Worthing are a great side. But to come away with a point, really, really proud. I think they've obviously had chances, we've had chances. They've probably had more of the ball than us. And I think the difference is having the wind in the second half plays a huge part, that you're allowed to get up the pitch. We struggle to get out at times. Really, really difficult to get any ground or make any ground in the game. Obviously 3 disallowed goals for them as well, and rightly so. I'll be amazed if the ref's got them wrong when we watch them back. I think he's got them all correct. I think the Lionos not helped him out by putting the flag up straight away, but ultimately they got the right decision in the end. And we go away with a valuable point from a really tough place to go.
And we'll go back right to the very start of the game then, because as you said, Worthing really struggled with the wind heading their way in the first half. It was a mixture, I think, in the end of Matt Lynch and the wind that kind of assisted Nathan Minas for what was a pretty simple tap in the end past Josh Jeffries. What did you see of the goal?
Yeah, no, we just said put as many balls in the box as you can with the wind, make it difficult, make it percentages. We knew that we weren't going to come here today and play liquid football. I think it was a game of 2 halves, the old cliche. We were probably more dominant in the first half. I think that's probably fair to say in terms of chances created. They were more dominant in the second half, and it was one of those ones we didn't want to just hold on. We wanted to try and be on the front foot, but they moved the ball really well. We go away with a point. They're really frustrated, and I will reference it as well. Their managers just said to our bench, "Well done in your cup final," and that for me is really distasteful. We're a club that we know where we're at in the league. We fight and scrap for every point. We have to find a way to get points on the board, and that's really disappointing to hear. So it is frustrating because we've not done anything wrong. I think the goals that were disallowed were celebrated by our dugout, and rightly so, because a point away at a fantastic team, let's obviously acknowledge that, for us is a huge point. So yeah, take the rough with the smooth, I think, in a game like that. When you're Worthing, you play well, you have a few goals disallowed, but it's not our fault. And we go away with a point that I would have been happy with before the game. So overall delighted. One thing I'm sure that you'll go on to mention is Hugo in goal. He came in tonight at 20-7. He found out that he was starting, and I thought he was absolutely magnificent. So massive, massive credit to him. Having never met the boys before, he's never trained with us. So yeah, really proud of all the boys, but especially Hugo.
Yeah, before I mention obviously the goal, he did kind of play a part in, I guess. We saw both Ollie Pearce hit the post at the end of the first half, and then Johnny Goddard, I believe, also before that goal went in, actually hit the crossbar as well. Do you think the game might have turned in Slough's favour had they doubled the lead instead?
Yeah, 2 goals would have been huge, but you never know in a game like that. They could have scored a few in the second half. We could have scored a couple in the second half. Obviously, Johnny's hit the bar as well. And it is a game where they do give you chances. They've scored, I think, the most goals in the league, but they've also conceded a lot of goals as well. I think it's similar to what we've conceded, but we've been a lot more resolute, a lot more difficult to score against in the past few months. Obviously, at the beginning of the season, we shipped a few goals, so I don't think it's probably a true reflection of where we're at now. And we knew that it would be a game where we get chances, and it's about who took them. We've obviously taken one, they've taken one. Ours was very fortunate, of course, where the keeper's dropped it, and then theirs was fortunate as well, where Temi's cleared it, it's hit Ollie Pearce, and it's obviously spun past Hugo. So no blame on Hugo at all. It's just one of them ones. On a dry pitch, it probably doesn't go in. But the conditions are the conditions tonight, and it's probably up there with the worst I've played in. Really, really difficult as well. So fair play to all you guys, all the fans that have stood in the shed over there under the cover. Some of the people have braved it behind the goal with no shelter, so huge thanks to those guys and girls that have obviously stood there and gone through the 90 minutes in the rain.
And we'll talk then about the last kind of 25 minutes then, which saw some bizarre scenarios occur. We had the goal, and then we had the first and second of 3 disallowed goals for Worthing. You've already explained it just off camera before, but how would you see what kind of the events that happened there? How would you see them? Yeah,
so there was 2 flicks in the middle of the pitch. The linesman wasn't sure who flicked it, so he let the play go on. But the thing is, after the goal scored, they let it go on for too long. I think they're celebrating in the corner, and it's probably 2 minutes after the goal. They've obviously stopped it, found out what's gone on. There was a flick in the middle of the pitch from there. I think it's Danny Cashman, and it was clearly offside. But it's one of those ones where I said to the ref, the linesman's kind of killed you, but you've got the right decision in the end, so fair play to you. And it does take bottle to do that, to change your decision, especially at home ground. Sometimes they can go against you. But yeah, they got the right decisions in the end, but it probably took a little bit too long. But fair play to the ref. I think it was a tough game. There were some tackles out there tonight, a lot of yellow cards, but that's purely because of the conditions. They made some bad fouls, so did we. I thought it was played in good spirits. We had to try and make it as ugly as we could at times, and we did that. And like I said, I don't want to repeat myself, but we go away probably happier. There's a certain thing called a good away point, and there's a thing called a brilliant away point. And for us, I think it's a brilliant away point. I would have taken that this morning, would have snapped your hand off, and it gives us a good chance to move into Saturday.
As you said, their brilliant away point leads into another big away game on Saturday away at Dover. Immediately, my thoughts turn to what are the conditions like of a few players, because we saw Matt Lynch go off clearly with another injury or a knock there. How is everyone, and what's the likelihood for Dover?
Lynch's opened up his knee. We obviously got a rest into tie tonight. I think we do need to freshen it up. We wanted to try and carry on the momentum of Saturday, which we did, and try and stick with a similar team to what we did Saturday. We were going to make 4 or 5 changes, but I think it was the right thing to do tonight. We might have a look at going into the weekend, freshen it up, see who's fit. There's some tired legs in there for sure. We had to do a lot of running. There's a lot of movement that you have to chase and follow and track, and we'll see how people are Thursday night, and then pick a team that can obviously go to Dover on Saturday and hopefully try and get something.
Well done, Scott, on the point today, and we'll see you on Saturday.
Cheers, Con. Thank you.